Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of how we think about money. Let's get started.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this. So, what's the big idea we're unpacking today?
Well, it's all about the psychology behind our financial decisions. It's like we often think money is just numbers and spreadsheets, but it's so much more than that.
Right? It's tied to our emotions and experiences.
Exactly. Everyone has their own unique background with money. For instance, someone who grew up during a recession might be more cautious, while someone who hasn't faced financial hardship might be more willing to take risks.
That makes sense. So, our personal histories shape our financial behaviors?
Yes, totally. And it's not just about knowledge or intelligence, it's about how our experiences influence our perceptions.
Mm-hmm. So, even smart people can make irrational financial choices?
Absolutely. Because it's not always rational. Money decisions are often driven by personal emotions and individual perspectives.
So, how does luck and risk play into this?
Oh, that's a big one. You see, success in finance isn't just about hard work or smarts. Luck and risk are huge factors. Two people can take similar paths, but one might succeed due to luck, and the other might fail due to unforeseen risks.
Right, like being in the right place at the right time.
Exactly. And sometimes we underestimate how much luck has to do with success. It's important to stay humble and recognize that luck and risk are like siblings. They both play significant roles.
Yeah, I can see that. It's easy to attribute success solely to personal effort and overlook external factors.
Definitely. And that ties into knowing when enough is enough.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Well, it's about recognizing that endlessly chasing more money, more success can be dangerous. If you don't have a sense of what's enough, you might take unnecessary risks that could lead to losing everything.
So true. It's like the more you have, the more you want, and it's a never ending cycle.
Exactly. And sometimes we see people who have achieved so much but still push for more, risking it all. It's important to balance ambition with contentment.
Yeah, but don't you think a bit of dissatisfaction drives innovation and progress?
Sure, but there's a fine line. It's one thing to strive for improvement, but when it turns into greed or recklessness, that's when problems arise.
Got it. So, where does compounding come into play here?
Ah, compounding is like magic. It's the idea that small, consistent actions over a long period can lead to massive results. Think of it like planting a tree. It doesn't seem to grow much day by day, but over years it becomes enormous.
Right, I've heard that time is the most important factor in investing.
Exactly. Warren Buffett is a great example. His wealth isn't just because he's a great investor, but because he's been investing since he was a kid and kept at it for decades.
So, patience and longevity are key?
Yes, absolutely. It's not always about getting the highest returns in the short term, but about staying in the game long enough for compounding to work its wonders.
Makes sense. So, what's the difference between getting wealthy and staying wealthy?
Great question. Getting wealthy often requires taking risks, being optimistic, seeking opportunities. But staying wealthy is about being cautious, conserving what you've earned, and avoiding unnecessary risks.
So, it's like once you've climbed the mountain, you need different skills to avoid falling off.
Exactly. Survival mentality is crucial. You need to plan for the unexpected and be prepared for setbacks.
Yeah, but if you're too cautious, don't you miss out on potential gains?
True, but it's about finding a balance. You need to be optimistic about the future, but also paranoid about what could go wrong. It's a barbell approach.
I like that analogy. So, tell me about the role of tail events.
Sure, tail events are those rare, impactful occurrences that can massively influence outcomes. In investing, a few big successes can account for most of the returns.
So, like a few outliers make all the difference?
Yes, exactly. For example, in a portfolio, a small number of investments might drive the majority of gains. So it's important to be prepared for and open to those big opportunities.
Interesting. So, how does all this tie back to happiness and freedom?
Well, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal for many is to have control over their time. True wealth is being able to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want.
That's so true. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy freedom.
Exactly. And sometimes people focus too much on accumulating wealth for the wrong reasons, like seeking admiration from others.
Right, which brings us to the man in the car paradox, doesn't it?
Yes, it's the idea that when you see someone driving a fancy car, you don't think about how cool the driver is. You imagine yourself in the car, thinking others would admire you more.
So true. So, chasing luxury for admiration might not give us the satisfaction we expect.
Exactly. Real happiness comes from personal fulfillment, relationships, and freedom, not from others' perceptions.
Completely agree. So, to wrap it up, it's important to understand our own psychology around money, right?
Yes, understanding how we think and feel about money helps us make better choices, avoid pitfalls, and focus on what truly matters.
This has been enlightening. I've got a lot to think about.
Same here. It's always great to dive deep into these topics.
Absolutely. Looking forward to our next conversation.